Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Thank you. Let me start with the questions. Can you tell me a word? What is Cambodia specialized industry? Not rice, right? So, oh, bicycle, actually. So before, in early 2000 or before that, we were known as a rice producer. We were known as an agriculture producer. We were known of Angkor Temple. So as time passed by, we have evolved ourselves from just agriculture into providing services, creating tourism destination, creating products such as hospitalities, and later on we created special economic zone policies where we welcome the investor in to produce from Cambodia. And likely today we can so-called call ourselves a China plus one. We can produce certain products such as textile to light manufacturing and all electronics device. So what we're going through today is going through an imagination tunnel that Cambodia in the next 20 years can be potentially, maybe, a data center destination and a destination to create the smartest AIGC, artificial intelligence created contents. So let's dive down together. With some number and facts, I'm going to spill out some number. So we were 6 million just after the genocide. And we grow to 17 million people now. And we have 20 million connected device or internet user. It's equal to 120% ratio to populations. Our average age populations is 27. Our childbirth is around 2.4, roughly 2.34 to 2.4. So we're looking at a growing populations. So what if I spill out and I say it today? If data center is operated in Cambodia, it is as 50% more efficient and cost efficient than it's operated in first tier market somewhere in Hong Kong and Singapore. Let me justify that. So we have low cost of land, low cost of operations. We have low cost of land, operation, and labor. So the all time together will bring the cost down to roughly. So let's unlock the face of how to make this scenario work. Let's go into it. So ladies and gentlemen, your phones in your pockets, your phones, and your phones have a roughly between 128 gigabytes to 512, or somebody would have 1T. So the data center measurement is a different. So it's the same bytes, but different. But put it into an easy to understand picture. Every one of you here, I believe, some of you have already exceeded your data usage amounts. Any one of you has already purchased Google Cloud? Raise your hand. iCloud? Any one of you use TikTok? Any one of you use Telegram? I see. So myself, personally, I use Telegram as a free spaces. And within which I can search for my file into my own message in Telegram. Funny. So next one, data center itself is a storage of your data. Today, as a Cambodian citizen, we don't know where our data is stored in the world. Your data probably stored in the other continent. So data, whenever you upload it, you send requests. Your request will travel through on the tunnel of the submarine cable. It's either under land, under sea, to data center at other places. We don't know. Then it's come back in the milli of second. So this is the picture. And then the drastic demand for this data center is justified by the number of information all of us and people in the world uploaded. So the number of information online today is much, much greater than information online 5 to 10 years ago. And our contents and our videos and our picture today is much, much greater than 5 and 10 years ago. Our working behavior these days have changed. We have digitized our work. So all of these habits and indicator, multiply or times it to number of population increase or number of young population increase, that's equal to the drastic increasing demand in data center in the world. So this demand is foreseeable. So AIGC. Any one of you here recognize more than 5 names up on the screen? Raise your hand. Thank you. So the ranking of these names is by their intelligence in AI, their capacity in producing artificial intelligence. The more data and knowledge they store, the smarter they are. So, but to unleash this, they need smarter people too. But to put into picture, the more data and knowledge they store, the smarter they are. Any one of you here use GPT? Raise your hand. Any one of you here use GPT to contribute to your assignment? Raise your hand. Any one of us here have already subscribed to the Prime GPT? Not yet. So, to put it into picture, the abilities is rated by levels of intelligence, which means the more data they store, the different data they store, the smarter they are. They store picture, they're good at picture. They store color, they're good at color. Everything is in the patterns. Any one of us here use a lot of if and VLOOKUP formula in Excel? Raise your hand. So AIGC, thank you. AIGC is something similar. You put all this knowledge together, you put the knowledge in, you put the formula in, they know the patterns, they can answer to your questions. We're looking at abilities in generating contents, ability in generate video games and videos. Video means people who get an AI that can just follow your script. And then we'll look at artificial intelligence who can can predict or giving you the best SEO. So banks, for example, is a business where data is required and data has a big guarantee it is safe. So bank, for example, they would have 2 different, at least minimum of 2 headquarters, act as the headquarter. The first one will be the main headquarter that you can see, they call themselves headquarter. Whenever the first one fell down, the second one, you don't know where it is, will come to replace immediately. The safer bank, they would have the 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter. Whenever the second fell down, the data would come and replace them quickly. For efficiency of small and medium business size, they would store data in some warehouses, which is so-called data center, a hyperscale model data center that can accompany multi-tenancy. Multi-tenancy, let's pick it into a good picture. It's like a rented house or residential building that share with many tenants. Brand that potentially rent this space would be Grab, Foodpanda, all of this. We need to store the data. So we're looking at 3 models that potentially can unlock face-by-face into Cambodia as a destination. We'll look at co-locations, data center co-locations, build-to-suit, and self-build. Co-location means we secure investment, and we put investment and tech in. We build a data center, and we lease it out into multi-tenancy. This kind of model will enable the viabilities of everyone, from small tech company to medium-sized company. And this model will make everything viable for a growing stage. Later on, when we attract enough attentions, it's called build-to-suit. Private equity and fund, all the rich people develop. They will start to secure contracts from big search engine. And after they secure contracts, which means that is a contract of guaranteed cash flow, and then guaranteed cash flow means they can put money in, build to suit the requirement of the search engine, and then rent it out to the search engine for such many years, get the return afterwards. Self-builds, when we attract enough attention, the big search engines like Microsoft, Google, they become direct and build, invest and build. So the self-build is the most efficient, but capital savvy at the beginning. So to unlock all of this, we're looking at a foreseeable trends of data center. Today, Cambodia, we have more than 6 data center. 6 is the base. So more than 6 accumulate to up to between 10 to 15 megawatts. We're having another one of 5 megawatt alone by Ministry of Post Telecommunication by 2025. So we have quite enough, but we'll look at number of, the number I showed at the beginning, a growing populations, 120% show to population connected internet device, would not be enough to justify that we need more data center in the countries. But with pictures, this data center that we're going to have more is to serve the ASEAN nations, the 600 million populations, the 600 plus millions of many young people. And then how to unlock that? So right now, Cambodia is in the tier 3 of the markets. Tier 3 means after the tier 2 and tier 1. So we're looking at the trends where all these data is going to be decentralized. The data center business is going to be decentralized. Decentralized is in the purpose of greener, safer, and cheaper. So the trends we're looking at is decentralized. The tier 2 would be someone like India, Indonesia. Tier 1 would be someone like Hong Kong and Singapore. So to do this, we're looking at 2 different hardware and software of data center. The hardware side, we look at a stable power, energy efficiency, and renewable energy. I have to say we are Cambodian, we are at this stage. We produce a renewable energy up to 62 to 64+% in terms of total consumptions, which is we should be proud of. And second, in the hardware side, we need to look at cooling technology, the cooling technology for the data center building. Third is the skilled labor. All of this can flow in from abroad, and then we can start to pick it up later. The software side is the policies what we're looking at now, and we can do it now. Let me tell you a story. 20 to 25 years ago, in the European zones, there is a new service introduced, the service of data storage, data search. So all the big search engine has been globalized over the EU. 80% of Americans own all of this company. So they have no choice. When the EU zone has proposed or imposed or amended the law, is so-called data localizations. Localization means all the personal data and citizenship data has to be stored within EU nation territory, the geographic locations. So leave the Americans or most of the international company have no choice but to invest in data center in the territory of European Unions. So afterward, we can see the number that data center per ratio are spread across all continents instead of condensed in the US alone. So what we're looking at is data localization for Cambodia, not to impose a protectionism against the international trade law, but something to align and capture the audience of ASEAN, that we can be a data safe house for everyone. We're looking at second policy, a special economic zone. We can adopt something similar to our industry, the garment, textile, the special economic zones, into a designated area, a new area, which is so-called special economic zone for data center, a well-connected with a submarine cable and many cable, a free plots of land for first round investment from the risk-taker investor, a very tax generosity and exemptions, and a stable power, more renewable energy, and bringing a model of energy efficiency into it. Lastly, the policy that we look at is the special economic zone for finance. So this pillar is going to help facilitate the flow of capital into a data sector. This is similar to the current garment special economic zone, garment and textile, but this is designed for finance related or banks. Coming close to the end, ladies and gentlemen, our brother, our sister, namely Miss Janna, Janni, Janti, and Janta, who is in the age between of 19 years old to 35 years old today. They're working in various sectors. Those include agriculture, hospitalities, tourism, educations, and many other. They're living a good life, such a good life now. And their kids going to a better school, having a better nutrition, living a better life. They are getting smarter today. They know better math, they know better science. So to put into pictures, if we unleash this kind of policy now, we start to receive those kind of investment, we're going to have a lot of hardware. And then this hardware will stand as the software for them to learn. So the more data we collect and store, which means they have opportunities to use this data to model it and produce the smartest AIGC. So these people have opportunities. So coming close, we are all today living a better life, but we should not forget our ultimate goals. In the history, we have made a remarkable civilizations. The Angkor era, the 1960s, the Cambodia as the Pearl of Asia. So we must rise to a greater height from now. As a Cambodian citizen, I strongly encourage you that we have the obligation for our futures of nations, for our people in the futures. I would like to remind that what we are lack of today is the quantity of people, the expertise. We should make it up by our dedication, our hard work, our diligence, our leaderships, and our motivations to make it happen, make it as a promising destination. Singapore, 20 years ago, when they claimed to be the financial hub of Asia, Hong Kong and Tokyo would laugh at them. But today, if they say so, none of us would say anything because they are who they are today. Today, Cambodia, if we claim to be one of anything we claim that we want to be, we will be there in 20 years. I would like to give you an acknowledgement. So every Cambodian here who have been to international stage, winning competitions, getting scholarships, study abroad, winning many competitions, for example, you have made it so far. Our parents have put a lot of effort and grow us until today. And I would like to also convey the message to our potential investor that Cambodia is a promising place for your return, a safe house for your data center. It is potential beyond its horizon. Last but not least, let me ask you a favor. Join me with applause for where we are today and for the future of Kingdom of Cambodia. We should stay competitive, stay relevant, and reinvent ourselves. Thank you.